Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here with another video. This one's a bit different to, I know I've covered M.G.T.O.W a long time ago, but this one's a bit different to most of the videos. So anyway, I just thought I'd talk about what this organization, group, if you like, called M.G.T.O.W, or M.G.T.O.W, I pronounce it, is all about. So I thought I'd just cover some of these things that I've been reading or hearing about, like including through YouTube videos and things like that. First of all, I'll say when I was growing up, I think I might be slightly autistic without realizing, but I was never really that good at relationships and stuff like that. So, or actually, I wasn't good at all. I was like really terrible. Well, I never even had one. So, but yeah, I thought I was the only person who felt this way when I heard about like things like women only liking guys who've got money or things like that. So anyway, I don't want to offend anyone with this video, but I just want to have an honest critique, if that's the right word, of M.G.T.O.W and what it is. So anyway, M.G.T.O.W stands for Men Going Their Own Way, and it's about people not being involved in formal relationships, I suppose. And I think one of the things is it's at different stages. I haven't really planned out this video, so I haven't really had a list of what I'm going to cover. But anyway, it's a different sort. It has different sort of stages to it. Some like M.G.T.O.W monks, which are like people who avoid even like talking to women or things like that, or any sort of relationship. And then you get some who are like only have casual relationships, and then some who some who have more casual relationships. But most, I think people would probably say the strict definition of M.G.T.O.W, really, if you want to be a M.G.T.O.W, is that you don't get married or cohabitate with women or whatnot. So it's probably like, it's kind of like living by yourself, or if you are going to live with friends, you don't really live with a romantic partner or things like that, so you don't involve yourself in long-term relationships. But yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting topic just to cover something a bit different to what I often cover. But I don't know why I decided to cover it. I think like I thought, because of my alliterations and patterns, I thought I'd cover like M.G.T.O.W Mondays. Like some people call it M.G.T.O.W or stuff like that. And I think the closest definition you're supposed to call it is M.G.T.O.W or M.G.T.O.W. But yeah, so I suppose I'm a M.G.T.O.W, and in a way I was kind of a M.G.T.O.W before M.G.T.O.W, before I even knew what it was. Before I found there was like a community who follows this way of life, like no cohabitation or long-term relationships or things like that, for various reasons. And so some of the reasons are things like divorces, like how they generally favor, dare I say, they generally favor women more, and what people call there's certain terms called, like there's a red pill, which apparently comes from the Matrix movie. So the red pill is when so there's blue pill is like what most people live in, like they think things are a certain way, but the red pill is like where you have that red pill and you see reality for what it really is. And then like there's different groups now that like calling it a black pill or something, or different there's different sort of pills that people take, but that's how it sort of started. So apparently it's from the Matrix. But yeah, it's about seeing reality. Like there's terms like hypergamy, which means that generally speaking, like females when they have relationships normally tend to favor like the wealthier, richer people with more assets or power or status or things like that, and like also taller and stronger and things like that. So they tend to, like, again, I don't want to offend people. I know sometimes M.G.T.O.W make videos about which can be a bit offensive, so I don't really want to offend any people or any gender. And I know a lot of M.G.T.O.W get offended when you say like it's a movement, because I think what they say is like a movement can be infiltrated much easier. But because of my alliterations, I'll probably call it a movement without really thinking what a movement is, but or know the definition of a movement. But they say it's like a philosophy or a way of life, so it can't be infiltrated, or you can't allow women to join the group because then they can infiltrate it. Like, so people say that things like the Boy Scouts have been infiltrated, and now like girls have been involved in it, and like boys don't feel comfortable in in the Girl Scout and in the Boy Scouts, sorry, and things like that. I hope I'm making some sort of sense and not offending anyone else to say, but yeah, so that's what I thought I'd talk about what I think M.G.T.O.W is. I know it's just, I meant to say in the title, like from arguing from a point of ignorance, if you like, or I can't remember exactly what I was going to call the title initially, but I forgot to include the full title, which is from a novice's point of view. So I'm not an expert, but these are what I've heard about M.G.T.O.W. So like it's about shunning long-term relationships, or what society says you should be as a man, like how they say as a man you should be tough, strong, not really show your emotions, earn lots of money, pamper women, spoil women, buy them nice things, look after them and stuff like that. So I suppose M.G.T.O.W say we don't want to be pushed into being stuff like that. So I'm hoping to cover M.G.T.O.W as often as I can each possible Monday. Again, I might get a lot of things wrong, so I hope I don't offend any M.G.T.O.W or any women or any other men or any other groups or anyone else. But I'm just giving my opinion from what I would say, arguing from a point of ignorance really about what these sort of things mean. And again, I hope I made some sense. And please feel free to post your comments in the comment section if I get anything wrong, or you disagree with something I say, or anything like that. Or even if you think what I said is offensive, please let me know, or anything like that. So anything you want to comment, basically, or anything you want to inform me of, or disagree with. But yeah, so as I say, I like my alliteration, so I thought I'd cover M.G.T.O.W on Mondays as often as possible if I want to get the chance. And I wish I could remember what I was going to say. Yeah, I'd love to hear from other people on M.G.T.O.W, like proper members who have been members for a long time. But yeah, so a lot of M.G.T.O.W, as I say, get offended when you say M.G.T.O.W is a movement rather than a philosophy or way of life. And I wanted to cover, I think that's what I was going to say, I wanted to cover like over the course of time, not sure if I'll do it tonight, but possibly ASAP, I hope to cover like some of the things I disagree with what some M.G.T.O.W do, like when they can say rude things that maybe come across as misogynist, or like what a lot of people say about M.G.T.O.W is like we talk a lot about women considering we're supposed to be going our own way and like avoiding relationships or things like that. We talk, they say we shouldn't talk about women or things like that. So I kind of get where they're coming from. If like we've gone our own way, why are we talking about things? But I suppose some might argue that M.G.T.O.W talk about relationships because we're trying to red pill other males, especially young males, if they're going into relationships, to know what sort of things they're getting involved in. Or a lot of M.G.T.O.W talk about their own experiences, like they've been through divorce if they're older, and they've had relationships if they know how to talk to women and stuff like that. So they know from their own personal experience. So they talk about it from their own personal experience. So I suppose they would say they're warning young men about what they're getting into and why marriage is kind of a rough deal for men today, because if they divorce, normally the odds favor the women to get custody of the children and also get like financial gains as well, at like 7 or 8 or maybe even 9 times out of 10. So like me personally, like as I said, I might be like slightly autistic without realizing. I've never been diagnosed with autism, so I can't really say I'm autistic, but sometimes I think like, although I can be social and I love people, I love animals and living things and all that kind of things I've talked about in my other videos. If you see my other videos, you'll know, if you've seen some of them, you'll know I'm quite empathetic. But I also like, if I didn't have learning disabilities and all that, I would like, I'm not very independent, but if I was, I'd probably live on my own because, or in fact, I would definitely live on my own if I could, because I think like, yeah, just like I love my own space. I love to be able to, I don't like share my bed or my room or my space, and also because I've got hoarding issues and other things like that. So for me, like cohabitation, if I could even speak properly, or things like that, sharing my space or things like that is not really something I'm really that much into. But anyway, sorry if I was waffling, and I hope I cover this topic in some sensible and respectable way on all parties. And yeah, I can't think of much else to say. I'm sure I always think there's something I forgot to say, but anyway, I know this video is dragging on a bit, so I am out. Peace and love.